Today, we're going to talk about arpeggios in a little bit more depth, particularly how you can creatively apply arpeggios all over the guitar neck, especially if you're looking to develop your skills as an improvising soloist on guitar. Now, if you've followed my channel for some time, you'll know that we've talked about arpeggios on numerous occasions. Triad arpeggios, 7th chord arpeggios, and of course the basic application of these arpeggios. And to get to know where to play them all over the guitar neck, you can certainly check out my masterclass, How to Practice Volume 2. But today, with the intention of continuing to develop your skills as a soloist on guitar, we're going to take some basic 7th chord arpeggios, play them over a single bass note, and work out some of the harmonic implications of these 7th chord arpeggios over a bass note. Maybe they're sounds that you're familiar with, or maybe you wouldn't use them at all. Drop a comment, let me know, and let's get started. Let's begin with a G bass note. Now from this bass note, we're going to imply certain harmony by playing certain arpeggios. For example, a very basic instance of this would be a G major 7 arpeggio over our G bass note, which of course implies the sound of a basic G major 7 chord. But what if we were to still use a major 7 arpeggio, but a different major 7 arpeggio to imply a completely different sound? Over our G bass note, let's try a D major 7 arpeggio, which over our G bass note implies this sound, D major 7 over G. Now particularly if you find yourself soloing over a G major 7 sharp 11 chord or a G6 9 sharp 11 chord like this, you could certainly use that D major 7 arpeggio and it would sound beautiful. Presenting us with a similar sound, what if we were to this time play a dominant 7 arpeggio over our G bass note, particularly an A7 arpeggio, which would sound something like this. This A7 arpeggio over a G bass note fairly clearly states the sound of, for example, A over G. And once again, if you saw the chord symbol G6 9 sharp 11, you could very easily implement this arpeggio, A7 over a G bass note. Continuing on from our A dominant 7 arpeggio over a G bass note, what if this time we utilized a half diminished arpeggio over our G bass note, specifically C sharp half diminished? We would have this sound. It really does present us with an angular sound, doesn't it? It would work well over the A over G chord that we heard earlier, and would once again work well over the G6 9 sharp 11 chord too. But since it is a C sharp half diminished arpeggio, what better chord to play it over than an inversion of the C sharp half diminished chord, particularly one with a G in the bass note. That's a drop 3 voicing of the C sharp half diminished chord, and if you'd like to learn more about drop voicings, watch this video up here. Let's make things a little more interesting once again over our G bass note. This time, let's try another dominant 7 arpeggio, a B7 arpeggio. To me, that clearly implies the sound of B over G, or G major 7 sharp 5, and is a fantastic option over that chord. Finally, what if we were to try something that you heard probably a little less often, and that would be more or less implying the sound of a G-flat triad over our G bass note. that would mean that we could use the G diminished major 7 arpeggio or G minor major 7 flat 5, and it would work fantastically well. You can learn all of these 7th chord arpeggio types in How to Practice Volume 2 at bensguitarclub.com. And let me know in the comments, would you use any of these concepts? Let me know if this is something that you've already used, or maybe something that you would never use. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my upcoming playing videos, lesson videos, and discussions about music. And if you'd like to take your playing to the next level, join me at bensguitarclub.com. I'll see you next time.